he's doing this to himself.
But it affects my kids.
Of course it does. That's the tragic part of the whole story.
It's just like I still feel the need to like not talk about it and protect it for my kids. And I always will feel that way. But like, God, if people knew, I just would never do that.
Kim's only power is to take my kids. I had a baby with a assistant, bro.
What if I told you that Kanye West just said he regrets having kids with Kim Kardashian and that he wishes he had babies with Paris Hilton instead? Yeah, he really said that.
Could you imagine if I had kids with Paris Hilton, how many hotels I have now?
You have the whole
You get what I'm saying? Think about that. Think about that. The Hilton. You know, the Hilton. Because I think I'm staying in the Hilton right now.
But it gets way messier. Because this isn't just about celebrity drama. This is a story about betrayal, regret, power moves, and a guest bedroom that led to a Hollywood takeover. Let's unpack the wild saga that connects Kim, Paris, Diddy, and even Scott Storch in a web of fame, secrets, and what could have beens. Before Kim Kardashian was a billionaire reality queen, she was Paris Hilton's assistant. And yes, confirmed, she literally used to crash in Scott Storch's guest room. According to Scott, she didn't stay a guest for long. She graduated to the master bedroom. Something happened. He wouldn't say what, but whatever it was, it flipped the script.
There was a story that came out, a video that was shown saying back in the days when Kim K was Paris Hilton's assistant.
Yeah.
Was it true? Was Kim K Paris's assistant?
Yeah, she used to sleep in my guest room. And then some weird shit happened. I'm not gonna say what happened, and then she made it to the master bedroom. And
Kim,
Paris was gone. Yeah.
Paris found out, or?
No, it was just like she and I were done, and like I think we were both like had it, and we were like commiserating. What did he say? Karen's she's commiserating at the house from Goodfellas.
Coming over to the house every day, commiserating the two of them. I can't have it.
Paris was out. Kim was in. Plot twist, they didn't even fight over it. Scott said he and Paris were done. Then he and Kim, well, let's just say they commiserated. Like two heartbroken people bonding in a house full of secrets. Scott Storch wasn't just a bystander, he was in it. Back in the early 2000s, he was producing hits, living on Indian Creek Island, and dating Paris Hilton. She introduced him to the spotlight, TMZ, paparazzi, clubs, flashy cars, tabloid chaos. Scott says before Paris, he was just a studio rat, rich but low-key. Then she turned him into a headline. And with her came a whole new circle of people. Fake friends, ego trips, and fame junkies. He didn't name names, but he made it very clear. Hollywood changed him, and not for the better. Kim came in with ambition. She studied Paris like a playbook, took notes, played the long game, and Scott noticed it. He said Kim was cool, driven, and hungry for her moment. He even has video of him pulling up to a Miami mansion in his Bugatti, Kim in the passenger seat, and nobody even recognized her. Crazy, right? The future queen of reality TV, invisible in plain sight.
No, whatever. Yeah, so like, yeah, we ended up being a thing. Like, she was awesome, bro. She was a super cool girl.
Kim was awesome.
Yeah, like,
what was awesome about her?
She was organic, and she was just like, you know, eager to like, she wanted to like build her career up. She kind of followed Paris's blueprint with the foreign shit after whatever. But at that time, she was just a cool kid. And like, put it this way, there's a video on YouTube somewhere where I'm pulling up in car number 4 Bugatti Veyron ever. So like, it was the new thing. Like, people were reintroduced to Bugatti. And I pulled up with Kim Kardashian to mansion on Washington Avenue.
Yeah, 12th and Washington.
Is that it? Yep, that's it. It's funny. You guys are quick.
Behind them, a Mercedes Maybach driven by Scott's guy, who also transported his nose candy. Yeah, it was that kind of era. Fast forward to now.
That's my car too, behind him. That was my driver that used to carry all my drugs for me.
Mercedes Maybach, I think.
That was 62.
Yeah. And that's you and Kim.
I bought
right
one
there?
of those for Paris. Yeah, that's me and Kim. But if you listen to the audio on that, nobody knows that's Kim. They're just like, there's Scott Storch.
Yeah, that's Scott Storch, yo.
In the Bugatti.
Yo,
if I put this clip up, I would say the caption would be first. I had the first Bugatti.
Oh,
yeah. First with Kim.
Andrew Tate can thank you, is what you're saying.
Yeah. No, I taught motherfuckers how to ball.
That's Kim K?
Yep.
So at this point, are you guys an item or just?
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. And how did Paris feel about the fact that
I didn't
she
give a
went?
fuck.
No, how did Paris feel? What did this do to her relationship with Kim?
It didn't help. It was done already.
Oh, it was done
At
already.
that point, yeah.
Got
was
it.
like all fake shit.
Kanye on Twitch just dropped a line that broke the internet. I should have had a baby with Paris Hilton instead of Kim Kardashian. Blast. And he meant it. He said if he had chosen Paris, he could have had generational wealth, hotels, real estate, the Hilton name.
Could you imagine if I had kids with Paris Hilton, how many hotels I have now?
You have the whole
You get what I'm saying? Think about that. Think about that. The Hilton. The Hilton. Because I think y'all staying in the Hilton right now.
But let's be real. The Hilton family sold their hotel empire back in 2007. This wasn't about money. It was about what could have been and the bitter aftertaste of decisions that didn't go as planned. Here's where the glitter fades and the pressure cooker starts to steam. Kanye West, a man who once held the throne of pop culture, is now out here revealing cracks in the kingdom. And they all trace back to the woman he once called his queen, Kim Kardashian. But this tension, it didn't begin with messy tweets or chaotic interviews. It started with a gut feeling. One says hit him just 2 months into dating her. He admitted it outright. I didn't want to have kids with her. But then came the bombshell. It wasn't in God's plan. Which begs the question, was Kanye ever really in control of his life with Kim? And it gets even more layered. Behind the scenes, reports started swirling that Kim was quietly looking into legal options to limit Kanye's access to their children, not out of spite, but because of how erratic he had become.
He's doing this to himself.
But it affects my kids.
Of course it does. That's the tragic part of the whole story.
It's just like I still feel the need to not talk about it and protect it for my kids. And I always will feel that way. But God, if people knew, I just would never do that to my kids. It just is really crazy.
The hardest feeling to watch someone you really loved and you have a family with just be so different than who you knew.
Kanye didn't ignore it. He clapped back hard, saying, Kim's only power is taking my kids away. You could feel the sting behind those words.
Kim's only power is to take my kids. I had a baby with a assistant, bro.
Not just as a father, but as a man who once believed he was building a legacy. Only to realize that legacy could be taken away at any moment. Then came the most haunting line of all. I had a baby with an assistant. Not said with anger, said with exhaustion, with disillusionment. It wasn't a jab at Kim's past. It was a public admission that the illusion had broken. The glamour, the fame, the idea of a perfect celebrity couple, none of it was real to him anymore. He's not mourning a divorce, he's mourning the version of himself he lost in the spotlight. And this isn't just about Kanye, it's a window into how Hollywood works. Scott Storch painted that picture too. When he told the story of Kanye showing up to the studio with him and Dr. Dre asking for a quick photo. Nothing strange about that. Until Kanye left the building, changed outfits, and came back to retake the exact same photo. Like image had become everything. And when Dre questioned the vibe, Kanye reportedly stormed out and called him the devil. The message? Kanye was spiraling, spiritually, emotionally, and artistically, trying to hold it all together while everything around him felt fake. So what do you get when the image no longer matches the man? Tension. Between Kanye and Kim, between fame and authenticity, between the life he wanted and the one he ended up with. And when you stack that against the high-gloss perfection of the Kardashian empire, Kanye's vulnerability feels like a glitch in the matrix. Raw, real, and completely at odds with the curated world he once stepped into willingly. But here's the deeper truth. This isn't just a celebrity unraveling. This is a man trapped in a brand. And every time he speaks out, it's another crack in the facade. So ask yourself, was this love? Or was it a transaction? Was it legacy building? Or just survival in a fame-obsessed world? Because that's the tension behind the fame. and it's only getting louder. Here's where the glitz cracks and reality starts bleeding through. Kanye West didn't just lose a marriage. He lost control of the narrative. Think about it. He once called himself the Louis Vuitton Don, the visionary, the man ahead of his time. But now, he's standing in the aftermath, picking up pieces of a life he says wasn't even his to begin with. And that's the cost of playing the Hollywood game. When Kim moved out of the guest room and into the spotlight, she wasn't just switching bedrooms, she was flipping the script. She followed Paris's fame blueprint to the letter, then rewrote it in bold billion-dollar ink. Meanwhile, Ye was chasing something else: legacy, purpose, maybe even redemption. But he got swept into a machine that doesn't stop for anyone. He thought he was building an empire, but in the end, he was fueling someone else's. The money? Yeah, they had it. The fame? Beyond imagination. But the control? That's the real currency. And Kanye? He gave it up piece by piece. For love, for image, for family. Now he's sitting on Twitch saying he should have chosen Paris Hilton, as if that one decision would have saved him from all this. But here's the truth. Hollywood doesn't care about your what ifs. It uses you. And when you're done, it lets you spiral, publicly, painfully, and with just enough mystery to keep the blogs buzzing. Kanye isn't the only one who paid the price. Plenty of others walked through that same fame-fueled fire and came out unrecognizable on the other side. Scott Storch called them Hollywood douchebags, people who pretend to be better but are just playing the same shallow game. And when you spend too long in that world, it changes you. You don't even notice it until it's too late. Kanye said it best. He had a baby with an assistant, not to demean, but to reveal how far the illusion went. That wasn't just a marriage. That was a brand deal with emotions attached. So what's left? Regret, reflection, and a man trying to peel back the layers of a life that deep down he never truly owned. This is the price of fame when you forget who you are. And yeah, he's finally starting to realize that. So what do you think? Did Ye lose control of the game he once dominated? Was Kim always 10 steps ahead? Or is this just another Hollywood loop where nobody really wins? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't hold back. If you love raw truth, celebrity chaos, and stories they don't tell on TV, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and make sure your notifications are on. Because what's coming next? Let's just say, it gets deeper than guest rooms and Bugattis. Catch you in the next one.